Hello and welcome to another great edition of Crossy's Corner. I'm Martin Cross, and in the corner today is Spain's magical beach sprinter, Ander Martin. Hi, Ander.
Hi, Martin.
It's great to be able to chat with you. And I know we first kind of met or hooked up in Turkey when you were at the European Beach Sprint Championships, which must seem a long time ago now.
Yeah, kind of. For me, it was like yesterday because since just to let you know, like since since I arrived from the world, I just spent like 9 days in a row at home. I've been traveling a lot and all of this, so it's like time was flying. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how are you? What have you done so far today? How have you spent this Friday morning?
Well, this Friday morning I've been just doing my grind, training in the morning. Then when I finished, I've been just doing some things of work, and preparing to meet you. That was all this morning.
Ah,
So
yeah. So,
yeah.
what I find interesting is to understand how what kind of training a beach sprinter does, particularly let's say in the winter, and how that is the same and different to what a flat water rower might do.
Well, especially in winter time, I don't think that is that different. The thing is that in my case, I like to combine a lot with between you can combine a lot between erging, obviously, but running, then swimming. There's the only difference that I would say in winter training with flower rowing training, I think it's more that kind of that you don't have to spend too much time or the time that the flower rowing requires in the boat. I think it could be a little bit more easy to adapt between, especially when you have to do plenty of hours in the aerobic phase, UT2 or whatever. You can combine a little bit easier, but I don't think it's that different, the winter training of flower rowing and beach sprint rowing. Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell us about your work on the ergometer? Do you use the Concept 2 or the RP3?
I'm using mostly the Concept 2. I think RP3 works well as well, but mostly I'm training in C2. Yeah.
So tell us, like, what would you do if you had a long session? What kind of splits are you seeing on the rowing machine? And do you ever get into sprints in the winter?
You mean sorry because I was losing the connection a little bit here, and you mean what a splits
Yeah,
I'm
in
getting
the long
in
in the
the.
long distance work that you do.
It depends. Right now, I'm feeling great. For example, this week I'm feeling great. We were in high altitude training camp like a few weeks ago, so I think it helps. So right now I don't know, my UT2 is around 149, 148 when I'm good, and 152, 153 when I'm a little bit more down, maybe. So more or less, these are my splits at the moment. Yeah.
When was the last time you did a 2K test?
Oh, 2K. It was like maybe 2 years ago, maybe. Yeah, 2 years,
Yeah,
2 years and a half ago, something like that.
yeah. And what's your PB over the 2K?
556. I was not that good because I'm
Oh,
heavy, but
that's
but
awesome, Anna.
yeah. Well, I went sub six, but I think I would like to see what my in my peak form, how could look my PB on the 2K. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really and another thing. So if you do water, if you go in the single or something, in the winter, are you rowing on the sea or the river? Or are you sorry, sculling? Are you sculling in a narrow boat or in the kind of boat you might use, the Felipe shell you might use for the the beach sprint world championships? How does it work?
Well, yeah, no. I used to spend as much time as I can, obviously, in the big boats, in coastal boats. At the beginning of the season, we can touch sometimes river boats, but
Mm.
I like to stay because the movement can look like the same, but the way of moving the boat is completely different. So when I go to the water, I prefer to go in a coastal boat, and now I'm training with I have a Swift here at home,
Yeah.
and mostly I spend in the, like, most of the time I'm in the sea, so yeah, that's what I used to do. Yeah.
How is it different, the movement then, in a boat like a Swift to say an Empacher single scull on the river?
Well, the difference between a riverboat and a coastal boat is like the kilos. You are moving in one, you are moving 14 kilos, and in a coastal boat you are moving 35 kilos. So I think that the physics here works different, even if the movement is the same. And yeah, I don't know if you wanted to know about this, or the difference between the different brands,
Yeah,
because
no,
I was
no.
losing the
The
connection.
the technique. So the way you scull. So is it more that you push the back end in a coastal boat, or is it more on the front end?
I think the big force is much more at the back end, than you need to be like that, kind of really patient, getting the boat in the cuts, and then once the boat start moving, then accelerate more to the back end, and leverage that part, than getting that peak force, maybe at 47 or 48. That could be, more or less, in depending the boat, obviously, but in flat water rowing, you can be a little bit more in the back end. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's really interesting. Um, so what about do you bother to do training for the sprints, or do you just use your natural ability?
No, I used to. I don't know. Well, sometimes some of my coaches used to say, like, I remember one of my coaches that I really love him. Gaspar used to say that the sprint at the end is something that you have or you don't have. I think you can work with to make it happen, and but honestly, we used to work thinking on how to break the beach sprint regatta, starting with the running sprint, and then how to develop the structure of the race during the different, if you are in quarterfinals, if you are in semifinals or whatever, when the lactic acid is starting to struggle, so yeah, we used to kind of work, but I don't know if my sprint at the end, maybe it's something that I have. I don't know.
So I remember your sprint in the World Championship against Moritz Wolf,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because that was such an exciting race to watch. Can you talk us through that race?
Well, we knew that Moritz, for me, was the fastest rower, especially in the water. during the World Champs. We knew this from the Europeans. We were
Mm.
racing in the, I think it was in the quarterfinals or in the knockouts in the Europeans. So we knew that Moritz was in unbelievable performance. So that was the race. That was like I didn't want it. I remember like talking before the race that some of the coaches were saying like, no, if we are behind in the boy, we have to leave and think about in the final B to get the bronze medal, blah blah. And I said, no way. I think that I can. I will be beating him, or at least I wanted to keep this mentality. So anyway, we started the regatta. I was having a nice start, but I was not feeling that confidence, and I couldn't during all the walls. I couldn't get the jumping in the boat as I was doing at home. That's something that after finishing the worlds, something that we were analyzing. But anyway, Moritz, we knew that the way up to the boy, he was like a rocket,
Yeah.
and I was like a little bit patient, and I wanted to do a proper turn of the boy and all of this, and give everything in the way back to see what I was. And I think Moritz was knowing this because he was I remember taking the race data after the race. He was at 48 strokes per minute from the half of the way back, so
Yeah.
that's mad. And anyway, he was ahead of me in the, but I was not. I was, that kind of way that I was not looking at him. I was more focusing on me, and I wanted to, because I knew that the race, it was to be like really tight. And I saw him when he was failing, and I knew that this it was mine. But I was like really focused to give everything, because I knew that in the jump to press the button or whatever, I could get I could win. So I just wanted to believe until the last moment, and that was what I did. And like, but for me, was my best regatta ever, and having an athlete like Moritz to face in regattas like this. And because people just saw this one at the Worlds, but the one at the Europeans as well was unbelievable race. And I'm looking forward to race against him again this year. Yeah.
Wow. So, how much did that race take out of you? Like, that like max 100% effort. So it was very difficult to recover from a semi-final like that for the final, which came, I don't know, 10
Yeah.
minutes later or something.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, that was terrible for me. That was, and actually, I was feeling great, or I was thinking that I was feeling great. Better said, because that was a pleasure as well to compete against Chris, because Chris is a very good friend of mine. I really love him. He's like my brother there over there in USA. So I remember that we were having a chat on his physio's bench there behind of the star line, and I was feeling great. And actually, inside of my mind, I was thinking like, I'm gonna beat Chris, I'm gonna
Yeah,
beat you,
yeah.
blah blah blah, that good way, because it's like such a pleasure to compete with good friends like this. But when we were at the start line, I don't know if we were doing a bad recovery protocol, or whatever.
Mm,
And I don't know what happened there. We were missing something, that we are working during all this winter season and everything to see if it was something in the performance, if it was something of the recovery or whatever. Because it was in the start line. and when the green light was there, I started running, and I felt like my body was like full of concrete. You know what I mean? I was feeling like
Yeah.
I was moving concrete, and when I was putting the oars in the water, I remember like, come on, the coaches moved
Yeah, the
the oars
spread.
or whatever
Yeah.
because it was not possible. And the thing is that I was empty, and I was and something that I would like is again say sorry to all the people, and especially to Chris about not being able to give or to give a proper race. That was for me really something really painful that I couldn't show a nice regatta for the world. But the truth is that I was empty, and Chris was unbelievable. So it was the thing that happened. I was actually empty, and we are working to get it. But this happens one time, 2 times it won't happen. I'll give you my word.
Yeah. Because no, I'll ask you that in a minute. So you mentioned about jumping into the boat.
Yeah.
So it seems to me there are maybe two or maybe three different ways that beach sprint scullers jump into the boat. Like I like the way that Emma Twigg jumps in,
Hmm.
which is not the way you get into the boat.
You get it with the two legs up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So why do you? What I don't understand is why you could. Is it because of the swell, the waves that you are not able to jump in like you were in training? And why do you jump in the way you do and not the way Emma Twigg does?
Well, from the beginning of beach sprint, and I'm pretty sure that we will still see a lot of different ways of jumpings or whatever that people start to discover. This is very new. But the thing is that I've been from the first world champs in beach sprint, and I've been looking and trying what people was doing, or discovering new ways to make this
Mm.
happen. And I have to say that I never tried what Emma and Austria, I think they are doing as
Lobnig,
well, the
yeah,
same jump. And probably I will start, but the thing is, I think like the way that I have is kind of great for me because I have like long legs, so it's quite easy to put a leg in the ball for me, and for me it's a little bit, for me, I mean, because
yeah.
I'm not that coordinated maybe like they are, but too risky, for me. I think that I have to take a lot of risk to jump like that instead of having mine. And as well because I was clocking and the jumps that we were getting, especially in the prep for the walls, were
Yeah.
really, really, really quick. And that's why I said that I couldn't get the proper one. But no, that's something that maybe I need to try. I'm always open to whatever the coach say, or whatever I feel that is better. And I think that's something that a beach sprinter needs to do, no? Like open to the change, or open to adapt, whatever. That's, I think, the most important that we need to think about. Yeah.
I just thought of something there. You mentioned the turn around the buoy at the top. Um, we could do, I'm thinking World Rowing could do with their TV presentations for a split time on the turn. Like from when the bow passes the or one part of the boat passes the buoy, because I'm guessing you must take those times.
Yeah. Sorry, Crossy, because Martin, sorry, because I was losing a little bit the
Uh
connection. So if you can repeat, sorry.
yeah,
That's my
I'm
fault. I think the connection is not working really good. So
so
sometimes that's what happens to me.
so so the time it takes for the beach sprinters to go round the buoy at the top of the course, Uh,
Yeah,
I think World Rowing should have those times for the TV.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's something that I would like to have from all rowing. It's like you see that kind of way that in flat rowing you can have the race data per 50 meters, I think.
Yeah.
You have seen those
Mm.
seats, no? Something similar in coastal, I think, would be great, and something great that they were doing this year. I don't know if you realize about it, but it was that they were measuring the run into the boat and the run back
Yeah.
from the boat. Since they were I think they were taking like the step in the boat and the step out in the sun. That was great. That was great. And I don't know, because I think that is kind of difficult to get the churn, but something like putting with the GPS maybe or something like that. Once you cross the buoy, it's like you start counting here, and then you stop the clock once the crew starts with the two blades in the water. Something like that could be great to get the timings or something like that. But I really would like to see the splits per each 50
Yeah.
meters.
Yeah.
This would be something great, I think.
Um, so one thing about the turn, at the Europeans, one day the wind was blowing onshore, and the
Yeah.
next day the wind was blowing offshore. And I noticed when it was blowing offshore that a lot of the competitors, their boats were too far past the buoy when they started to turn. Uh, what is the technique for doing? How did you cope with that? And what is the technique for the turn at the top of the course?
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the techniques or
Okay.
whatever. No, no, but no. I like, actually, I think it's all about feelings. I think this is something special that when you have to play with wind blowing from different sides and then streams or whatever, like you need to feel, kind of feel, because some of the people or whatever, like you used to think that with a huge boat like our coastal boats you can't feel, but the truth is that you can feel a lot, and
Mm,
sometimes even more than maybe in flat water, because the thing is that you are in the sea, and the currents, the swell, the wind, all of this
mm.
can help you to win a speed or not, so that's something that you can develop with the feelings on how to row in each part, and how to do the turns when the wind is blowing from one side or the other side. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So I was going to ask you, in terms of the uh, the the lactic acid that you felt between the semi-final and the final in the World Beach Sprints, and also Moritz Wolf. He lost his legs in the run in the sprint for the line. Was that because his legs were full of lactic acid, or was that just a mistake?
Well, when I spoke with him, he was like the same. Like, I think both of us, we were empty,
Yeah,
and empty, like, that means if you're empty, that means because toxic lactic was killing your body or whatever, and your muscles. So yeah, I think I would like to see, because I've been doing some testings in at home, in the air, or but no, we didn't. We were one or twice. That was the maximum. Yeah, one or twice we were doing acid lactic testing in the water. You know,
yeah,
and I would like to see the difference, especially when we are in peak,
yeah.
or peaking for the world, for the Europeans, and see how are the differences of acid lactic. That this would be something really interesting, because we in the air testing we were giving like I was in 23 millimoles of acid
23.
lactic.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was almost the maximum that the machine
Yeah.
could give. So that's something interesting, and the recovery phases uh, would be everything in the future of beach sprint.
Oh, that's yeah. That is one of the things that makes beach sprint really interesting. Um, so look, one of the things I guess you must have been, I don't know, disappointed. Maybe that's the wrong thing because I know you and Esteban Zamorano have won world titles in the mixed double. Um, I guess it wasn't possible for you guys to race at the World Championships in the mixed double last year.
Yeah, that was something painful, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, um,
Because But we will be fixing it. We will be fixing it soon. So
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
we
So,
are looking forward to be back in the double. Yeah.
so I guess you watched that race between Lithuania and America, the final. Kazuskaite and Yankionis against Bak and Busa, um, which was a fantastic race. What were you thinking?
Sorry, Martin, I
Yeah.
lost you. What would I what?
What were you thinking when you saw that mixed
Oh,
doubles final?
yeah. No. Eh, uh, l- I was there looking at them, and Esther was looking at the live streaming.
Yeah.
So we were in contact, and we were like, that was something really fun. And this is a great question, especially thinking about the double, because we were like connected, kind of thinking the same. And I remember that I was sending a message to Esther while Esther was texting me back, and we were saying the same thing, like, oh my god, we should be there, we should be there. And we are looking forward, because this year we were competing in Faroes Trophy in Oeiras. Really great championships organized by the Portuguese, and especially of my by my friend Manuel Pita. And
Yeah.
we were competing there against the Portuguese, that they are such a great crew, the
Great.
Lithuanians and everything. And I remember that Esther and me, we were competing there. That obviously the people and the crews are not the same, or in the same performance in that
Yeah.
competition that in the worlds. In the worlds they are full prepared for that. But we were having a great performance. We have won the Faroes Trophy, and that was like 4 or 5 months before the worlds. So we were like, oh my god, we were like looking forward to be there, because in Portugal we were out of performance. I was
Mm.
fat as a cow. And we were like, literally, we said that we, like, 2 weeks before of that chance, Esther was already in Oxford. So we were like, are you free? I am free, so why not? We can be making this. And we went into Portugal. We did that, and anyway, we are looking forward to see once we put all the work, and looking forward to face the other crews, and enjoy competing with them as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned that competition in Eures. For this season in 2026, where will you be racing, or where will you and Esther be racing in the beach sprints?
Well, I hope that we would definitely, we will be back together, I think. And let's see. The plan right now, we are developing everything, and working to make this happen. We will be training in Torrevieja here in
Mm.
the academy. and with the club. So the plan right now is to put the work, do all the trials or whatever we have to do. But pretty sure that if everything goes normal, we hope to be in the double, and who knows if something else as well for this year. Who knows?
Okay, yeah, I get the picture. Where are the Europeans this year? Has that been announced yet?
I don't know. I don't know yet, but I heard something about Spain. So let's see. Let's see
Okay.
if if this goes ahead finally or not. Maybe I'm doing a little spoiler here, but that's what the bad tongue say. So
Okay.
anyway, yeah.
So, I thought when I came to the Europeans, before then, I did not understand beach sprints properly
Yeah.
because I think I'd watched it, I just turned on for the final. So I didn't understand that you raced, three races very quickly. And I found it so exciting. But I kind of think that the sport should have a higher profile. That it's not enough people know how great it is to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
What's your what are your thoughts?
Like I think the spectators, especially those that doesn't know about rowing or don't know about rowing, um, they have to give a chance or just one opportunity to see one race, a
Mm,
race of beach sprint. And I think like if spectators see two races, the third one it's like they will be seeing, they will, because it really is, it's really easy to understand. It's really short and spectacular and easy to follow, I think.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
something that's this is a very new sport, and I think like we are gaining spectators really quick to but the thing is that you are right, like we need still to put the work and keep promoting this and making easier and from the athlete's perspective try to share as much as we can to bring those spectators in. But I think uh, would be something great for those who maybe people that maybe don't understand how is
mm,
the rowing. No, it's much more easier to follow. It's much more easier to understand, and much more especially for those that, you know what I mean, like not for non-rowers is, I think it's much more easier. Hmm.
yeah. One thing I wanted to ask, just because when I was at the Europeans, I saw athletes make a dive for the buzzer at the finish, but in one chance they missed the buzzer, and the guy who was just behind, he didn't when he dived. So how difficult is that diving for the line to hit the buzzer?
I think you need to train that a little bit. If you're not diving at home, maybe it's not the best way to. Well, if you are tight, I think it's like natural to dive into the bottom, But it's kind of that you need to measure like how or get the timing to jump and get a proper dive and press the bottom, no? The thing is, like personally, sometimes I started jumping or diving to the bottom like for the camera, for the picture, and this is the truth, I have to say. I have to say. But now, even when I'm doing whatever time trial or whatever, instantly, my natural way to get into the finish line is like jumping, because
Yeah.
I proved at home that for me the last meters, like the last 5 meters, are much more quicker when I dive. But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing is
yeah,
that you need to be really careful because it's really easy to get injured, get an
yeah.
injury or whatever. So it's like you need to maybe train at home if you are thinking to dive. Yeah.
Yeah, I get. Um, Another thing I wanted to ask you. So, in the women, you had two flat water specialists at the World Championships, Emma Twigg and Magdalena Lovnig. But the men, you had two beach sprint specialists, yourself and Chris Back, in contest the final. Um, what did you think of that?
Well, I'm still looking forward to see more flat water rowers coming into beach sprint and top flat water rowers. Obviously, the top ones maybe are not going to jump into beach sprint until there's a great opportunity or whatever, maybe non no serious regatta or whatever.
Mm,
Because if they are doing well in flat water rowing, the thing is that they keep focus on that or whatever. But the thing is that I remember years ago, a few years ago, when people was saying, and probably you have heard about this or whatever, like when people from flat water rowing comes to coastal or whatever, they are going to win everything. And this is something that especially we were. And me, when I was in the flower national team, I heard about it but the thing is that this is completely different sport. I
mm,
think no, you can the performance if you are great in flat water rowing obviously will help you in coastal to get it easier, but without training or without being focused on this, I don't think you are going to get the medals in the worlds or to win the worlds. And this is something that maybe Moritz, for example, as well, that he's very successful as well in flat water rowing, can explain, no, that maybe it's not obviously not it's not the same, or being great in flat water rowing doesn't mean that you are going to be great in coastal rowing. So I'm like big fan of Magda and Emma Twig, but they were training a lot in coastal, and
yeah,
this is the true,
yeah,
and that's why
yeah.
they got the performance of flat water rowing, but they were transforming it really good into coastal, and that was the true. But they were because I know them, and I know that they were working hard, or at least focused with beach sprint. Yeah.
Um, so tell us about the what is the atmosphere like in this special place where you train in southern Spain at the Beach Sprint Academy?
Well, I think we were aiming to try to spread of or to get the atmosphere, atmosphere that is kind of what you live in coastal. And that's why we wanted to start, my business partner Emer McCormack and myself. We wanted to keep spreading this through the world and through the people that comes to the academy, or work in different teams in the same place, or kind of these things that we were doing. So I think it's great. It's so like next week. Yeah, next week we are having here people from Ireland, and we will be having as well the GB rowing team.
Oh wow!
So I'll be now that it's winter time. I hope that I can be training with them, and it's like being in the same place and having some crack or whatever, and doing the trainings together. It's like something that yeah, I'm really thankful for, and it's great. It's much more easier the way
Mm,
the So I think it's great. I'm really happy that people that comes enjoys, and I hope that we can keep this always this way of keeping this atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's fantastic. Now, can you talk about your combination with Esther Bree Zamorano? How what is it like when the two of you race together or rode together, and how did you two first start competing?
Well, Esther and me, we know each other since we were childs, and all of this started like a joke. Well, I started joking when we were juniors. We were at the national team, and we started saying like. That someday maybe we would be rowing in coastal, and I said to Esther that she could do well. Esther does everything great, you know. But I said like you need to try coastal, blah blah blah. And I remember in 2021, that was the first year that we went into the World Beach Sprint World Coastal and Beach Sprint Champs. It was in Portugal, so that was the our first championships together. And it was because Esther was away. She was in Seattle doing well the practice from the university,
Mm.
and it was a very tough year for her. I remember that, and she was training there, preparing the Europeans or the Worlds. I can't remember a flower rowing, and at the end, the were cancelled, and she was training a lot, you know. And finally, uh, after putting all the work, we got this option of going to Portugal, and she said like let's go there, you know. I want to take advantage of all the work that I've been putting, and that was the first time that I remember that it was a laugh because it all started actually like a joke, you know. And it's
Yeah.
kind of special as well that we went to the first worlds. We were winning the beach sprint and the endurance, and it was such a great champs in Portugal with a lot of level. And the thing of this as well is that next year we will be having the qualifying worlds in Portugal, where all started for us, you know. So that's something really special because it's Oeiras, it's where everything started, and who knows, but if everything goes well, we will be fighting for the tickets to LA in the same place that everything started.
Yeah. So I looked at because you were in the World Junior Championships and also the World Under 23 Championships. And then, so how easy was it for you to switch to beach sprint, or how come you were so good at beach sprint all of a sudden? What made you a great beach sprinter, or what makes you a great beach sprinter?
Well, actually, I started rowing in coastal. The first time that I jumped into a boat, it was when I was 10 years old, more or less, and we were having already coastal boats that we were
Ah,
using at kind of to you know to teach the young people and the kids and all of this because the coastal boats are bigger. We were using them as learning boats, and that's where I started because I'm from Torrevieja, and here we used to row in the port. So it's kind of difficult to be fully focused on flower rowing. Otherwise, we couldn't never because here, for example, now when this time of the year comes, there's a lot of winds and a lot of boats as well, and a lot. So flower rowing was a little bit difficult. But anyway, I started um, trying to get into the national team as I was growing up. And I made it when I was 16, 17 years old. And after that, I was focused on flower rowing. I lived in Seville for 6, 7 years. And in 2022, 2023, when we were we listen that the beach sprint or the coastal rowing was about to be included in the Olympic program. That's when I decided to, and as well because that was 2022 and 2023 were difficult years for me with personal issues as well, and I decided to take a year like off a little bit
Mm.
and do that transfer to be fully focused on beach sprint. And in 2024, when it was official, I started like from making the base here in Torrevieja and yeah, just fully focused on this. So that was more or less the way that I changed to be only in coastal.
Yeah, yeah, I see that, and I'm guessing, obviously, because it is now more popular in Spain. I know there were some Spanish juniors that I saw racing. I can't remember the guy's name, but I guessing you must have opposition. For other Spanish beach sprint athletes want to represent Spain in the Los Angeles Olympics. So maybe you can talk about, who the other Spanish competitors are for you.
Yeah, like in Spain, I think we have we are one of the best countries, I bet, of for coastal and beach sprint, and we were having plenty of medals. We have a lot of guys coming, and they were really good until now, like Adrian Miramon. We have Miguel Salas as well, Pablo Hermoso. We have a lot of people, Marco Liarte as well, and Ignacio Ramon. We have a lot of people because I think the way that we work from the clubs here is great. So yeah, I used to say almost that whoever wins the Spanish trials or whoever is in the podium on the top three of Spanish trial or the Spanish champs, that means that you have the level to keep working and maybe be in the top three of the world. So yeah, the way and the conditions that we have in Spain, and if we keep working like we were working and we are working, I think we will be keeping the people coming and keeping the level that we have nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, what do you know about the athletes, the beach sprint male athletes that could feature in Los Angeles? I mean, potentially you'd name the guys, the three guys on the podium in the worlds. But who else is there apart from Moritz, Chris, and yourself? Have you heard of anyone trying the sport this year or coming through that might be potential challenger in Los Angeles?
No, definitely. I think the Kiwis are working really good. I think the Kiwis have a lot of potential for this. That was a pity that in the Worlds, Finn Hamill, that he was being really fast in the single as well. He was struggling, I think, with one boy, and he got the penalty there, and he couldn't pass to the next phase. But I think the Kiwis will come really strong in everything for the Olympics and the Aussies as well. But I don't know any name right now that it's right now. I don't know. I think these worlds we will see again the level racing because I think the beach sprint champs, especially 2 years ago, just 2 years ago, were completely different in terms of level to what we have right now and what we will have in these worlds as well in China with the Chinese. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to see how the level rise and to see where we are and to fight the best in the world. That's such a pleasure.
Yeah, because it's my understanding that teams will not let, or many teams will not let the flat water athletes compete in beach sprints. So they will keep the two teams separate. Is that correct? That understanding, or do you know something else?
Well, I have heard this as well. I think it's up to the directors or the CEOs of each country. But I think in the preparation, if you are aiming to do or to fight to be in the top 10 at least or to get a diploma, you need to be like focused in each one like 100 full time. Uh, if I in my case, for example, I'll be focused in beach sprint, and I think Esther, for example, at the beginning she was thinking to combine both, and now seems like she will be more focusing on beach sprint than combining both because would be different. And look, in LA it would be 1500 meters, so it's kind more close as well to beach sprint, but it still is different to prepare for it. And so yeah, I don't know finally what we will see, but let's see yeah what countries does.
I think Finn Hamill wants to do both.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I heard as well, and I think right now is one of the best profiles to do both and be successful on both. And but let's see. I'm really looking forward as well to see all of these people or these brave people that can do both because honestly, in my case, I would like to be just focused on salt water. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Talk to us a bit about you outside of rowing, because it was I didn't know your involvement in the academy. I didn't know that you
Yeah.
were creator of it. How did that happen? Where does that come from?
Well, this comes. This is a nice story because the thing of the academy was an idea that I was having since to 2022, 2023, more or less. And uh, I was not because I wanted to keep my athlete career, and I was thinking that I couldn't never start this because obviously I was my idea was to keep being full-time athlete. And that was the year that I went. This year that I told you that I went. I took a year off and I went to
Mm.
Dublin with my partner, and there I met Emer McCormack. Thanks God that I met my sister. She's almost my sister. So um, I was when I was gaining confidence with her, and I remember that one day I wanted to tell her the idea, no, and we started speaking about this, and she was having a project like this to develop in Dublin, but she was as well alone to
Yeah,
make this happen, and it's like we are kind of the same, that we are always thinking and always trying to do things, and especially trying to engage people, and no, that's the way that we think. And as soon as I was saying all of this, all that, we were like, 'cause I was having the opportunity of having a place here in Torrevieja and all of this, and in that minute she was saying, I go with you and I'll be doing this with you, so you can be
Ah,
focused, so you can be focused on your athlete career. And I was like, at the beginning I was like, this couldn't be happening, because it was like God was bringing me Immer, and
yeah.
we were both like, the it was meant to happen. I think it was meant to happen, and we started working of that. It was a tough journey, and it's still being tough because obviously we are a business, but this is not a business to become rich. I think this is something that comes from the bottom of our hearts, and anyway, she moved to Spain full time.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
she's combining with Ireland and flying back sometime, but she came here, and for me was especially these years that I have to be really focused for LA. And that's very special, and let's see how this ends, but we are like really really lucky of having each other, and yeah, I'm I feel really lucky of going together with her in this journey.
Oh, I love that story. Thank you so much for telling us that. Um, I just thought I reminded myself of one question that I kind of meant to ask you, just going back to beach sprint. The commentators in the World Championships, they said the boat handlers. It was like they were making comparisons with Formula One, the Grand Prix, and the team in the pits. Um, how accurate is that, and how important are the people that handle the boat for you?
I used to say always that both handlers are like your third hand. It's both handlers for me. It's like another part of my rowing technique. Uh, you need to have a connection with them, like, because especially when the jumping doesn't go like we were planning or whatever, we have always to find solutions really quickly, and you need to be always really connected, so the movements of them, and obviously they will know your movement to adapt in case that something goes wrong, or to take advantage of the jumping, where if it goes well you can win there a length of a boat. So that's something. Yeah, give me a minute that I will put the charger,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
Go
a
for it.
problem. Just a minute, just a minute, just a minute.
Yeah, so it's been great talking with Ander, and I think he obviously wants to get his charger because his battery's running down, and he's definitely gonna edge back in once he plugs his laptop in.
Yeah, but
Um,
I'm here again. I'm here again. That's it. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
no, uh, so yeah, we talked at the start about the the training in the winter, and you also mentioned then that in the summer you were away from home for a long time, for many nights. Um, where do you go on training camp then if you've got these fantastic conditions in Torreviejo?
Well, as I said to you, like, I have the base here in Torrevieja. I used to spend all the time here training in the Beach Sprint Academy. As I think here, I'm lucky as well to have the best place for me in the world. Not only because of the infrastructure that we have, as well because of the natural part, because
Mm,
we have an internal beach inside the port, we have an outside beach, and everything like literally 600 meters from the pontoon and the gym. So this is something really special. When I go for training camps, I used to go to high altitude training camps since up
Mm,
in Sierra Nevada, and I used to combine as well with a Spanish sports center that we used to have from the government in Los Alcázares, which is 25 minutes away from my home. So
mm.
I'm lucky that I just have to move. The maximum that I have to move for training camps is Sierra Nevada, which is 4 hours, 3 hours and a half, 4 hours from my home. So that's something great. So yeah, that's more or less what I used to do.
Yeah. Um, and I guess you'll be watching this year's boat race.
I hope to be there in place. So
Oh,
yeah, I
because
hope to be there following Esther. So yeah,
I think Oxford, her crew are the favourites this year to win the race, and the Oxford team, the women's team, have not won since I think since for 10 years. So
yeah.
it will be a
That's
big
what I heard,
deal.
no? And the Cambridge have a lot of bats. Watts. That's what I heard, but I heard and I know very well that Oxford is being really fast. So let's see. I'm looking forward and crossing fingers to see Esther making history.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you watching any of the Winter Olympics?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Especially the following the Spaniards, because we were struggling a little bit. We are not such a huge team in the Winter Olympics, but yeah, I was following the Olympics a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, does it make you think about Los Angeles? Maybe when you saw the opening ceremony.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely, because and as well, the opening ceremony of Milano Cortina was awesome, and it's like that I don't know gossip bumps. You used to say
Yeah,
ghost
yeah.
bumps in Spain. We used to
Goosebumps.
say
Yeah.
yeah, ghost bumps. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what I was feeling, and no, that was great. That was great. And something that I received a message yesterday from a friend of mine that he's a skier, and there's a guy that does ski that he's doing beach sprint as well. He's from
No,
Saudi Arabia. Yeah, 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 yeah.
that's
Yeah, is there
crazy.
is the brother of Hussein Ali Reza or something like that? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was something interesting. Yeah,
There's a skier from Saudi Arabia. I can't believe
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. Long
Oh,
distance skier. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
oh, that's
yeah.
amazing. Well,
Ah,
Ander, we've been talking for over an hour now, which has been fantastic.
I would like to make you a question
Yes,
before I
go on.
go, and like, did you expect or before coming to Beach Spring, what you were thinking about Beach Spring? Be honest, because I
Right.
used to, I used to, I used to say in Spain like, Beach Spring is kind of, if you see it from outside, it's kind of a circus. Okay, because you have the boys, you have to jump into the boat, you have to get out of the boat, and it's kind of no, and it sounds like wow, quite of like a circus, and it's quite funny, until
Yeah.
you try it.
Well, so my understanding was not very good. I think before I came to the event, I understood maybe 10% of the sport. I thought I understood more than that. Like 80 or 90%. So I I thought it was not as interesting as people. There was these exciting finishes, and I was only watching the finals. And then if there was a gap in the finals, I thought, this isn't so interesting, this racing. But I understood nothing about it. So I and I still think that World Rowing has, maybe the IOC has a lot to do to publicize the sport
Yeah, definitely.
and to say how great it is. I got the thing about beach sprint, the vibe being cool and the music and stuff like that. So I understood that, but I think I was watching. I watched the Saundersfoot Championships. Where it was cold and
I've been
wet,
there.
and
I've been there.
yeah, and it wasn't the same vibe as in Turkey. Where the weather was warm and it was kind of fantastic. So I was literally blown away when I went to the Europeans in Antalya, and so I call myself a convert to beach sprints.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think it is fantastic for the sport, for the sport of rowing. And I don't think, I mean, it was good that Chris Back and Emma Twigg were nominated this year for the World Rowing Awards. But I still think that the sport could do much more to say how great beach sprint is.
yeah. No, definitely, definitely. No, I agree. And see, I hope that after this first edition in LA, in the Olympics, beach sprint came to stay in the future. So, and that we can open as well more modalities as well, combine between gender and mixed
Yeah,
crews, and not making bigger the sport, because I think it's really, it's a sport that is really easy to practice whatever and for everyone. So yeah, yeah, just I would like to hear your opinion here, and as well, because I think you know, it's still growing, and we are the same family, and it is what it is. And whatever we can do to make this sport bigger and bigger.
and another thing, I have incredible respect now for athletes like you and for Chris. And I kind of thought, well, beach sprinters, they're kind of slower than rowers, so
Yeah.
well, I didn't understand it. So now I understand. I'm like, you guys are incredible. And but I needed to have that experience to be converted, I think.
Yeah, yeah, no. And I totally I understand this, because I know that a friend of mine have, some of them, the opinion of that beach sprint is kind of easy, or that is no rowing or whatever, and sometimes it's normal that it can sound a little bit disrespectful for us, but I can understand, because it's what you said. Like they maybe don't have the knowledge, or people still doesn't know about what is beach sprint, or whatever. So yeah, no, that was great to hear. Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
Okay. Well, let's end the live part of our conversation now. And you're an absolute star, and I can't wait to see you in action in 2026 and beyond. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you, Martin. Thank you very much. I hope to see you soon.
Hey.